Alright, Greg, we've got your original swing on the left. This was after we started working on a few things there on the takeaway and backswing. One of the biggest things that we've been trying to work on for Greg is he always hinges the club a little bit open, gets this cup left wrist very early in his swing, which gets the club around his body way too early. But for him, his left arm crosses over, but you can see that the club face gets very open early. The left wrist gets very deep and cupped, and the shaft actually gets steeper here. So again, momentum with Greg was club comes up, club face is really open. The only way to go is steep, club face very open, hands way out from the plane. Now he's got to straighten up to hit it. And he was falling into the shot a lot as well. I mean, there was a lot of other things that were going on with his body position, falling into the shot. Biggest thing that we worked on with Greg, which we, first time today, we actually started to see some really good positions that he was getting into in the second half of the takeaway. So we worked on getting that club more outside the hands and square. Now the feeling for Greg, because he couldn't get that feeling of that wrist position where he was cupping it very early. So for him to actually get there was a feeling of, was it pointing the glove towards the ground a little bit on that takeaway or at the ball? That was really the only way that he could get that feeling of that takeaway. He really struggled with that. We nailed that takeaway, and then we were trying to work on the second part of that backswing and trying to get that to maintain and not go back to that cupped and open position, which again, he struggled with a lot. And what we worked on today was mainly getting that exaggerated feeling of his forearm staying more out in front of his body, out in front of his chest, to actually get the club to work in behind with a nice square of face there. For him, it actually feels like he's really bowing down his left wrist. But from where he started, he'll never get to that position. And as he continues back to the top, you can see the club face is much squarer. That left wrist is now spot on from this position here. Club's in a much better position. And as well, you know, we always talk about a little bit of momentum of what that backswing's telling us, and it allows him to bring the club back down on a better plane and start to learn how to shallow it again. So wrist position is getting more on plane. He's still coming up a little bit. We haven't worked on the body rotation too much just yet, but that backswing there for him has changed dramatically, and now he's in a position there where the club face being squarer, he can actually feel like the club can come back down on plane and release through it with a square face. Or otherwise, if he did that from over here, the ball's going to go there every time. Either that, or you have to flip the club so much just to get it back.